Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and hope your day is going beautifully. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you'll know when new videos are uploaded. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. If you'd like to have a topic discussed, let me know in the comments section or email me at ladyboulay8596@aol.com. As we are at the beginning of Black History Month, I am delighted that Black women are being vetted and that a Black woman will quite possibly be confirmed as the next Supreme Court Justice. Having a Black woman on the Supreme Court would bring balance to the court and a much needed breath of fresh air. And just for the record, Black Girl Magic would work on the Supreme Court too. There are many outstanding qualities that a Black woman would bring to the Supreme Court. I could list many, but I've decided on 5 that are significant and much needed for such a time as this. When I started this video, I had very strong opinions about this subject. I knew that any Black woman that would be considered for the Supreme Court would be highly qualified, that she would have a very strong educational background, that she would have a wide berth of experience, that she would have worked in private practice, working in something to do with constitutional law, that she quite possibly would have clerked for one of the Supreme Court judges, and that she would have had courtroom experience as a judge working with district courts or United States Courts of Appeal. I knew that she would bring a wide berth of education and experience to this job. And when I finished the research, I was right. I was absolutely right about these candidates being highly qualified for that job. And a thinking Black woman would bring something to that court that it has never had before, and that is an African American person aware of their history and aware of how the laws have affected the lives of African Americans. She would be able to bring real world experience of how the law actually works in the lives of the most marginalized people in this country. She would be someone who has not only studied the law, but she and her ancestors have lived the law. So she would bring ancestral experience to that court. A Black woman would have respect for the laws of the country and have a perspective that people who have not lived the Black experience wouldn't have, because they would bring to the court and they could bring to the discourse when the laws of the country work against its citizens. A Black woman would bring that to the court. At the same time, a Black woman would bring objectivity, the ability to interpret the law in a way that would be fair, but also offer the greatest good for the greatest number of people. And last but not least, a Black woman would bring values to the court, values that represent the best of what America stands for. She would be the manifestation of a people who have suffered unspeakable trauma in America, but still believe in America. The 3 top contenders being considered for nomination are Ketanji Jackson Brown, J. Michelle Childs, and Leandra Kruger. Ketanji Brown Jackson is an attorney and jurist serving as a circuit judge on the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. She was born in Washington, D.C., but her family moved to Miami, Florida, where she graduated from high school, after which she attended Harvard University and earned an AB degree in government. And she graduated as magna cum laude, which is quite impressive because the only thing higher than magna cum laude is summa cum laude. She states in her biography that both of her parents graduated from HBCUs. She says that she spent a year as a staff reporter and researcher for Time magazine, then attended Harvard Law School. She had some interesting things about herself. For instance, when she was attending Harvard Law School, she was a supervising editor for the Harvard Law Review. That was President Obama's claim to fame. So apparently, being anywhere near that Harvard Law Review is a big deal. She also states that she had an uncle that was imprisoned for a nonviolent cocaine conviction, and President Obama commuted the sentence. And what I found particularly interesting and somewhat amusing was that during her time at Harvard, she led a protest against a student who displayed a Confederate flag from his dorm window. Excuse me for not being impressed. The next candidate is Juliana Michelle Childs. Juliana Michelle Childs is a federal judge on the United States District Court for the District of South Carolina. She joined the court in 2010 after a nomination from President Barack Obama. She's a native of Detroit, Michigan. She earned her bachelor's degree from the University of South Florida in 1988, a master's degree from the University of South Carolina School of Business, and a JD Juris Doctor degree from the University of South Carolina School of Law. Lastly, she holds a master's degree in judicial studies from Duke University School of Law. She has a long resume, and she is the one that Congressman James Clyburn of South Carolina is aggressively supporting. The last potential nominee is Leandra Reed Kruger. She is an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of California. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Harvard University, where she graduated magna cum laude. She wrote for the Harvard Crimson and was a member of Phi Beta Kappa, which is the oldest and most prestigious academic honor society. So she's a graduate of both Harvard University and Yale Law School. She was a clerk for Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens, and she's also worked in private practice. She served as an acting principal deputy solicitor general of the United States from 2010 to 2011 and worked in the Office of Legal Counsel. In 2014, California Governor Jerry Brown nominated her to sit on the Supreme Court of California. She was confirmed and was sworn in on January 5th, 2015. She's born and raised in California. Her mother immigrated from Jamaica, and her late father was an American Jew whose parents had immigrated to the United States from Europe. She graduated with a Juris Doctor degree from Yale Law School, where she served as editor-in-chief of the Yale Law Review, and she was the first black woman elected to that position. After researching these outstanding, highly qualified, highly educated black women, I must admit that I am impressed, but I also must admit that I'm disappointed. I support and promote healthy and functional relationships between black men and black women. And I do know what the argument and the discussion is about there not being enough black men, and that's that and the third. But when I look at these black women's backgrounds, and they are highly qualified to be on the Supreme Court, but I don't think that it wouldn't be for African Americans, because when you talk about black family values, I guess they have advanced beyond that. Neither one of them is married to a black man. This is not a situation where you're promoting strong family values for the black community. So either one of these women would be wonderful for upholding the status quo. Maybe it was naive for us to think that we were going to have anything besides someone who was going to uphold the status quo. So anybody who thought there was going to be an activist judge for African Americans can breathe easier. And it's just like I always think, they groom these people for these positions. So there's no telling how long they've been grooming these women for this. This whole divestment and, black men this and black women this and black women that and blah, blah, blah. These are highly qualified women. Two of them are American descendants of slavery, as far as I can tell. And the third one is a biracial woman of immigrant parents. What I can say definitively is that we never learn. On the Supreme Court, you have several Caucasians. And the ones that are married to Caucasians, and nobody thinks they are backwards or racist or mentally ill for doing so. I just finished doing a series on why we went into slavery, and one of the problems with black people, with our tribe, has been InterTribal mixing. That has always been a problem, whether it was voluntary or involuntary. That is one of the things that we were originally not supposed to do, male or female. And the people who are pushing this interracial, this swirling, they know that. They know our history better than we do. I lost interest when I saw, their connections, because to me that's the point of divestment. You're not really into what's going on in the black community. So I really don't care. So the last thing that I will say on the subject, and I'm still being a little bit cynical, but these black men are running around here on YouTube talking about being high value and black women not being this or that. And these are top-notch black women, and these women are married to non-black men. So the power in the black community is shifting, and it's shifting to black women that are married to non-black men. Non-black women cannot empower black men, but non-black men, especially white men, can empower black women. There is a black man on the Supreme Court with no power. This man is married to a Caucasian woman, and the optics look like she has more power than he does. She's always involved in some kind of political activism. The other white male Supreme Court judges are married to white women, and you never hear anything from them. But this woman is always doing some kind of political stunt or activism. That means that she holds the power. This woman is a conservative woman. She is associated with some of the most right-wing organizations in the United States, and he is said to be the most conservative judge on the Supreme Court. Imagine that. An African-American man, a descendant of American slavery, the most conservative justice on the Supreme Court, voting against any and everything that might help black people. He listens to and votes with the most conservative anti-black voices in this country. He has no power. And to verify what I said about white men empowering black women, when Roseanne Barr made the racist remark about Valerie Jarrett, a black woman, ABC's president at that time was a black woman. She fired Roseanne on the spot, and she has not been able to get work since, as I can tell. That woman was married to a white man. Also, when there was a black woman who was over the Academy Awards one year, she was also married to a white man. More black people were nominated for Oscars that year than any other year before, and there are other examples. Black women with white male spouses can be empowered to do things, whether it's for black people or not. And for these smart alecky black men out here who will say that a black woman can't empower a black man, I give you Michelle Obama. And that's all I got to say on that. I don't mean to be prejudiced or racist or anything like that. And I acknowledge that I'm behind the times. But this progress does not seem to be working for us. I just don't see where this gets us as a race. I don't see where this gets us. I hear people saying now, oh, it's 2000, whatever the year is, and it's the 21st century. And if you got a problem with interracial marriage, then you have a mental disorder. I beg to differ. I don't have a mental disorder, and neither do other people that think like me. There seems to be this sleight of hand going on that says that things have really changed. America has really progressed. We're beyond race now, and we're just all merging together, and black people are just being paranoid, and it's not even about black people anymore. It's about the Hispanics or the Asians or anybody else. This is sort of a decoy to try to throw black people off the game, putting these black people in positions, making black people think that they're really making progress and things have changed. Things don't change that much, and they certainly don't change as much as some black people seem to think they do. I hear men saying you have to recognize game. Well, this is what I see. Black people do have power, but it would be shameful for that power to be used to benefit other people and not the masses of black people. These women are highly educated, they're highly experienced, and they're married to wealthy men. So if the narrative is that we're putting a black person, a black woman on the Supreme Court to benefit black people, where's the benefit really? I don't see it, because they've already divested. And I will repeat myself for emphasis, this was very disappointing to me. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.